Hello, everybody. Let me pull up this since I don't have an overlay prepared for you guys tonight. But hello, and welcome to another episode of Tarot by Hillary Live. I am your hostess with the mostest, Hillary of tarotbyhillary.com, professional tarot reader and EFT practitioner, demystifying the mystical and putting you in touch with the most beautiful gifts, your own intuition. Because yes, my friends, do not argue with me. You have intuition. I firmly believe that everybody has intuition. So I see that Dina is already here and saying happy Friday. Happy Friday to you too, Dina. Welcome to the broadcast. And we don't have a set agenda for tonight, folks. Usually I will have ideas come to me over the week, or ideas will be submitted by you, the wonderful listeners or watchers or viewers. But this week I didn't feel like there was no ideas. There was no ideas that came to me. So I figured we're still going to do it. We're still going to do the live stream. I'm here to answer your questions about the tarot or about EFT, emotional freedom technique. And we will still have the regular agenda going on, which is, the Astro Biz Digest, the Astro Weather at the top of the episode. We'll chat a little bit if you have any questions or concerns or interests or what have you about tarot, divination, witchcraft, magic, spell casting, etc. Dina has a question about tarot card combinations, which we can definitely talk about this episode. I'm happy to talk about tarot card combinations on the fly. I don't have anything prepared specifically right now, but I can certainly talk a little bit about tarot card combinations. And if you're having issues with your tarot card combinations, I certainly have something to say on the subject. And then we will break for the mid-episode reading if we have enough viewers to allow for that, and then continue to talk a little bit, and then we'll wrap up with the weekend forecast. So I hope that sounds good to everybody. As usual, and in keeping with Tarot by Hillary live stream tradition, my phone is blowing up and has been blowing up for the last, I don't know, since 4:30 up until now, with my mom and with texts from her. So I think I have like 14 missed text messages and one voicemail on the landline, which I walked into the house seeing the number one beeping. So I must have just missed her, but it's, that's what happens, right? So Dina says, ones you see, okay, so tarot card combinations, ones you see a lot and their meanings. Yes, I can definitely talk about that. I have thoughts, especially if it's on different topics. Like if somebody has a love reading and I get a tarot card combination of X card and Y card, which usually equals Z interpretation. So if that's what you mean, let me know. And yes, we can totally do that. All right. So first of all, let me drink some water. And second of all, let's get started with the astrology from Teresa Reed from her wonderful Astro Biz Digest. Ah, that's so good. Water, the lifeblood, the life giver. All right, I'm going to stack that there. I also need to apply a little bit of lip balm because my lips are chapped. It is that time of the year. Okay, let me see here. So as I normally do when I talk about Teresa Reed's Astro Biz Digest, let me pull it up here. I can actually take away that. Yeah, so let's do it that way. So the astrology from Teresa Reed's wonderful Astro Biz Digest. The Astro Biz Digest is $99 for a year-long subscription, and you get astrology every week, and each month you get a summary of the goings on for the month, right straight to your email inbox. And she gives you all the astro jargon, but then she also gives it to you in layman's terms. Very, very helpful. It is geared towards entrepreneurs and business owners, but I found it to be incredibly helpful in planning my personal life as well. So $99 for the year is a steal. I really, really encourage you to pick up a copy for yourself or a subscription for yourself. And what I do every live stream is I start the episode with our astrology overall, what's going on for the week. And then for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'm not going to give you away the whole farm, because then what would be the point of you purchasing a subscription of your own, right? Just give you a little bit to wet your whistle. And then if you feel so inclined to get yourself a subscription of your own, by all means do so. And the link is in the chat for you to go ahead and get one, but don't do it right now. Stay tuned for the astro-weather. So Dina is talking a little bit about tarot card combinations. Yes, like when I got the Death and Page of Cups and I got sad news. Yes, definitely. Let's talk about that a little bit. More in general, like we're not going to have it completely be the topic of tonight's episode. But yeah, we can talk a little bit about tarot card combinations. I gotcha. Okay, so for this week, we are still, and Mars is in retrograde. Mars is still in retrograde until the middle of January. So let me pull that up. That means you'll want to watch your words all month long. Think before you speak, tweet, hit send, or respond to comments. You don't have to get involved in every debate. We've got a lot of stuff going on this week. Mercury entered Capricorn on the 6th. So that's putting on your practical thinking cap. And this transit favors a methodical approach to everything from planning to communication. Because of the Mercury retrograde happening at the end of the month, Mercury will be in the sign of the Goat for a long time. You've got until February 11th to tap into this vibe. The 7th, this is the big one, the 7th finds the full moon in chatty Gemini. So that was on Wednesday. Use this day to clean up your inbox, finish negotiations, and wrap up writing projects. Get these things done, and you'll cruise through the holiday season with less on your plate. And fingers crossed that Teresa's email will be restored by then. I don't know. Teresa, you're going to have to give us an update on your email situation. And then after that, today, Venus sails into Capricorn on the 9th. Today, Friday, December 9th, and clients will want quality care. So you'll want to ensure your customer service is top-notch during this transit. Before this transit kicks in, go over your sales process and client care procedures. Do they need an upgrade? If so, create order well before this transit and let your team know how they can serve folks better. Results equal better business and a happier community. And this transit hangs around until January 2nd. So we've got time with Venus being in Capricorn. All right, so that's the main news. That's the main transits for this week. Are we ready to get into the specifics for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? Well, let me know in the chat. And I'm going to go ahead and hide this. There we go. Things are going a little bit slower on my end. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah. Interesting. I do want to see if I can quickly throw an overlay together, though. I don't feel comfortable without an overlay. Let me do that right now. I did a cute one for the Disney Villains Tarot. I like that one that I've done recently, where it's on the one side of the screen, and that way you can see the entire agenda for the episode, so you don't have to wonder where we are in the episode. You can just look over to the side and see exactly where we are. If I'm talking about astrology, we're probably in the astro-weather portion. If I'm talking about a specific topic, we're probably in the middle of the episode. If I'm giving a reading or I'm on the picker wheel, it's probably the mid-episode reading. If you see the weekend forecast little ticker, then we're almost to the end of the episode. Anyway, let's see. Nine. I can make that a little bit bigger. Yep. And let's see. I created a QR code. Let's see. I created a QR code that links right to my website. So now I'm like, I'm going to put that up. Why not? Why not? Let's try that. Let's do that. You'll see it in a second. It's easy enough to do. Wow, that downloaded really quickly. All right. Add overlay. There. Now, if you have a QR reader, I'd be curious to see if that actually works. Let me put my water down behind me. I think I have one on my iPad. I'm curious. Let's see. All right. Say cheese. It works. That's very cool. Here's the reason why I created a QR code. Just a quick aside. I had just done, this past weekend, I was doing readings at Decadent Ales again for their holiday market. And so I created some signage that I'd be happy to share with you guys when we have the time. Little 5x7 signage to put on my table. And afterwards, I think I was talking to my sister on Monday. So after the event happened, and she was just like, oh, well, next time you should really have a QR code on there so people can just scan it and go right to your website. And I'm just like, that is a good idea. And it's just like, and I am capable of doing it. So, and Canva does have a QR code creator. And that's where I create stuff like this, or some of the images that you see, or my video intro that you see, or my outro at the end. So yeah, I created a QR code. So if you use that, go straight to my website. Ta-da! I am a woman of many talents. Anyway, let's get into the astrology, shall we? So I gave you the overall transits that were happening this week. Biggest one would be the full moon in Gemini. Full moon in, yes, the full moon was in Gemini on Wednesday night. If you are on the East Coast, it was full moon at 11:08 p.m. in Gemini, and then it followed with a conjunction to Mars at 11:19 p.m. So almost like 11 minutes later. So dynamic duos, hot to trot for sales, meetings, finishing writing projects. I did a little bit of magic at the time of the full moon. But the energy of the full moon is still being felt. It's usually felt 3 days before, the day of, and 3 days after. And so we're still in that energy, that full moon energy. So if you need that full moon to help you with your goal setting or help you with your magic, you can still use that energy. All right, now let's get into the Astro Biz Digest for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So Friday, today, December 9th, finds the moon in Cancer, which puts the focus on home, family, and client care. Find the balance between nurturing your domestic life while still giving your customers top-notch service. That will be challenging due to the Venus-Jupiter square at 7:55 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This problematic aspect could force you into people-pleasing mode all day long, which might drain your energy. Strike a middle ground approach, and don't hesitate to say no if anyone tries to ignore your boundaries. The Moon-Mercury opposition at 10:55 a.m. will be especially challenging in that regard. If there ever was a time when you needed to be assertive, this is it. Venus sails into Capricorn at 10:54 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so we haven't hit that yet, folks. You're nudged to put quality first in everything you do. So read the bit about this transit in the section above daily horoscope. So I already told you a little bit about that energy of Venus in Capricorn, but I'll say it very quickly again. Clients want quality care. You'll want to ensure your customer service is top-notch during this transit. Do your sales processes and client care procedures need an upgrade? If so, create order well before this transit and let your team know how they can serve folks better. And your results will be better business and a happier community. So you do have time still before 10:54 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but also this transit is hanging around until January 2nd. So you have time over the next couple of weeks to look into those processes and tweak them for the better. All right, moving into Saturday. And also I'm just going to double check that everything is working correctly on the back end here. Looks good. Yeah, looking good, looking good. Okay. Double checking everything. All right. Looks good over there and probably is good on the other platform too. Okay, so where were we? Saturday and Sunday. Saturday begins with an intuitive hit at 10:17 a.m. when the moon sextiles Uranus. Trust your biz instincts then, especially if you're making an important decision. The rest of the day is easy peasy. Organize your office, return calls, and check in with your team. At night, make dinner for your loved ones and rest up. Sunday's Moon-Pluto opposition at 9:11 a.m. opens the door for energy vamps and power mongers, but you're too bright for that. Your tech gear is off, allowing you to ignore your inbox and social media drama. This energy eases up in a few hours, which means the late morning might be decent for a bit of marketing or client care. Once the moon strays into flamboyant Leo at 3:09 p.m., it's showtime. Level up your marketing efforts, host events, grab the mic, and toot your own horn. Be loud and proud with your PR. You'll create an impression and turn every head towards your business. Sweet. Both days, Saturday and Sunday, are power days for Cancer and weekdays for Capricorn. And Friday, today, December 9th, is a power day for Cancer and a weekday for Capricorn. Oh, all three. All three are power days for Cancer and weekdays for Capricorn. All right. Any questions about the astrology from the AstroBiz Digest before we move into topics such as tarot card combinations from what Dina was asking? I'll give you a minute. I'm going to get myself some more water and perhaps apply some lip gloss or some lip balm, something for these lips. No, I forgot to put up my comment snake. There we go. No comments? No? Okay. I'm not seeing anything. So let us move on to what Dina asked about. So Dina asked about tarot card combinations. Actually, did I think I might have talked about this a little bit in my book. So let me go grab my book. Be right back. And also, let me let me put the stay tuned to be considered for a live tarot reading crawler in there too, while I'm going to go and grab my book, because I think I talk a little bit about tarot card combinations, 2-card combinations, in my book. If I didn't, then I'm sorry about that. But there was only so much that I could cram into 128 pages, and I'm sure that my first book is not going to be my only book on the tarot. So do 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 do. Tina says, plug that book. You better believe it. All right. So, in case you're wondering, what book, Hillary? What are you talking about? I do have a book. It came out about 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. It is called How to Read Tarot Profiles, Guided Exercises and Reference Charts by Hillary Perry Haggerty. That would be me, with a foreword by Josephine Ellershaw, who wrote Easy Tarot. And it is from Flame Tree Publishing. So you can pick this up wherever you get your books. You can order it through different book websites. And if you want more information about my book, actually, why don't I just tell you? Why don't I just push this to the stream? Oh, there it is. And this has the link there. But you can also find information about my book through my website, tarotbyhillary.com, and then /book. There you can find more information and different links to order it. So there you go. Plugging over. So I think I do talk a little bit about tarot card combinations in here. And I think I talk about it the most in the 3-card spread. But that is something that my publisher wanted me to write about. So they didn't ask me to write about 2-card spreads. They didn't ask me to write about 1-card spreads. They asked me to write about 3-card spreads and the Celtic Cross, which is the 11-card or the 10-card, depending on whether you use significators or not. And I do talk a little bit about the Celtic Cross with the use of a significator and the Celtic Cross without the use of the significator. I use without the significator, just to let you know. So, So when you do a spread, for example, I am going to get to your question, Dina, I promise, but I want to just provide a little bit of context first. So like for the basic 3-card spread, there is something called positional meanings. So when you're working with the spread, you're also assuming that there is a positional meaning that goes with that spread for each and every card. So positional meaning is a placeholder showing what this card means in this particular spot in the spread. It can offer a focus or a guide to how to interpret that card's meaning that goes deeper than its generic meaning as a standalone card. It's not just asking questions that can help with the context of a reading, but also to create spreads of your own. Using related questions as positional meanings. You can do that. You can totally create your own tarot spreads. Like that's allowed. So some examples of classic 3-card spreads, and I'd encourage you to try out these spreads before attempting to create your own spreads, just to see how they would interact with each other. Spreads are a wonderful way to add understanding, clarity, and meaning, or to better focus the cards to answer the questions being asked. So like a classic 3-card spread would be past, present, future, where the first card is the past, the second card is the present, and the last card, the third card, is the future. And we have handy dandy illustrations in here too. So this I'm reading from page 68 of How to Read Tarot, my book. So if you can see right there, this illustration right over here is past, present, future. So you can use, we can create those card combinations that way, or you can just use a card combination without positional meanings. So there's also the choice 3-card spread where you can do, and this could be a 2-card spread, which can become a 3-card spread by placing the client's significator card in the middle. Let's see what else. And there's also other options, like option A, option B, option C, pros, cons, advice or what to do, what to hold on to, what to let go of, how to take action. So this is all in my book on the basic 3-card spread chapter. This is where I'm getting this information from. I am the author. So, and examples of positional meanings can be topic, timing, influences, character, outcome. What can I do more of? What can I do less of? Who can I ask for help? And if you're looking for positions that ask what's below the surface, you may want to place your cards below the main line of the cards. If you're asking for messages from above, you place them above. So not only do you want to think about positional meanings, but you also want to think about the placement of the cards and what that placement represents. But yeah, and also remember that the future is never set in stone. For any spread, whether it's simple or a longer reading with many cards, when there is a final outcome or future card, that future is a possibility and is not entirely fixed. This is true for any spread, any tarot reading that has a future or final outcome. If you see a bad card, take this message as a gift. Use this foreknowledge to avoid, mitigate, or understand, or prepare. And then I talk a little bit about the bridge spread in this book, but also I'm pretty sure I did a workshop in this very live stream. So if you want to check the archives for that, they are completely searchable. Just use the search button on the Tube of You when you're on my channel, or the Book of Face. You can search and look for bridge spread, the bridge spread, and you'll be able to find it. And I talk all about that spread in that particular episode. Okay, so way more information than I think Dina was asking for, of course. But I do talk a little bit about combination. Here. So this is kind of what I mean when I talk about combinations. And I talk about this a little bit more in the Celtic Cross chapter, is a formula for interpretation. Positional meaning plus cards meaning plus context and surrounding cards plus original question or situation equals whole interpretation. So that's a little formula that I keep in the back of my mind. But you know, as you're working with your deck, you may start to see card combinations that are significant for you and mean something specific to you. For example, so Dina is familiar with that episode. The bridge spread is so good. Thank you. And I still can't remember where I learned that from, or whether that was just a download from my own mind or source. I have no idea. But I tried to give credit where credit was due. I thought it was Mary Greer. She said, no, I think I think I asked Rachel Pollock. She said no, it wasn't me. Thalassa wasn't me. So I don't know. I don't know where I got it from, or I don't know if I just downloaded it or channeled it, but there it is. It's on the live stream in the archives, and it's also in my book, How to Read Tarot. But your question was about tarot card combinations. And as you start to work with the tarot more and more, and as you give readings to yourself, as you give readings to others, you may start to form a shorthand with your deck. And certain cards will pop up as card combinations to let you know this combination means this, especially in context with the question that's being asked. So for example, I have done many, many readings on for people that are trying to have a baby and are having fertility issues. And when I see the Empress card combined with Empress card combined with the Ace of Pentacles, I think this effort is going to be successful and you are going to have a child, because I do see that golden coin as an embryo, like that one golden coin as like that egg. So Empress plus Ace of Pentacles to me is pregnancy. So I'm pretty sure this is what you were asking about before, though, Dina. Just let me know in the chat if that's correct. But like you were saying before that you had, what was it? The death card, the death and the Page of Cups, and got sad news. So there you go. That's a combination that like I personally have not had before, and it resulted in that. But for you, the death card plus the Page of Cups may mean sad news. And if you were to receive that card combination again, if you were just doing like a reading for yourself, that might also be indicative that you're about to receive some sad news again. So pay attention to that, especially if it starts happening more than once and it's a pattern. Okay, so Dina's saying yes. Okay. So that's an example of a combination that I can think of just like quickly. I'm sure there's many other examples that I have. And of course, all of them are not coming to mind right now. So like, let me show this though, just to show you what I mean. So let me take off the overlay. Let me take down this. And let me, I know I have examples. So, like, like here, I'm going to show, like, here's the, ooh, that looks really good like that. I kind of like that. That's cool, isn't it? All right, so Dina says, I pull 2 cards every day and started to create sentences from them. That's great. That's really great. And your tarot card combos are probably going to be even stronger than mine if you're doing that. They really are. You're going to have that shorthand. And by the way, I'm going to display this again. If you want to know about tarot card combinations and you're like interested in that, like this is an example of what to do to become better at them. You got to practice them. You got to try them out. Otherwise, you're just not going to have that fluency really start to develop until you're like comfortable pulling like 1 card and then 2 cards and then 3 cards. And I've been talking with this a lot with people lately, but it's just like there's just something about people wanting to like skip over the process of like learning something or beginning something. So they'll start to like work with the tarot deck, but they'll go right from like opening up a tarot deck and going straight into a Celtic cross. And I wouldn't recommend that personally, because I think that's really overwhelming. And it's just like, like before you deal with 10 or 11 cards in a tarot spread, maybe start to work with 1 or 2 first and see how they interact with each other before you go into something like the Celtic Cross. Now, if you already get to the Celtic Cross and you feel fine and you feel comfortable with it, that's fine. More power to you. But if you feel overwhelmed, maybe go backwards a couple of steps and, you know, work with fewer cards and see the combinations there. Like if you're, when in doubt, you might want to take away cards rather than add on more cards. Like this is also the problem with pulling clarifying card after clarifying card after clarifying card. Sometimes when you add on cards, it gets messier, not clearer. Okay, so like here's the Empress card. And let's find Ace of Pentacles. Oh, I have really cute. I don't know where this came from. This looks like, I think I might have gotten these images from Jamie Sawyer. But hey, let me show this. That's her Ace of Pentacles, which is not what I wanted to show, but let me find it. Oh. They're digital. Those are digital stickers from the Pocket of Pierce. That's very cool. All right. Now, where is actually my example here that I wanted to show? Well, I know where the Ace, I have the Ace of Wands. No, that's easy enough. Here. All right, so there you go. So there's the Empress. So this is the card combination that I'm talking about. Empress plus Ace of Pentacles to me implies a pregnancy or fertility, or yes to yes, you will be having a child. Yes, you are gonna get pregnant this time. So, and I would say again, like this is just an example, and for some reason I don't know why there was a time that I was giving a lot of readings like that, and I don't know what it is. I've done those readings and I've done like, okay, well, how many kids am I going to have? And so I've been able to do that, but it's been like, I don't think I'm getting all of my information just from the tarot. You know what I mean? Like I'm also kind of intuiting it. I'm getting like a flash of clairvoyance, or I'm getting clairaudience where it's just like 1, 2, or a girl and a boy. Da, da, da. And so it's repeatable. I've had it happen before with different clients. But you know, if you can't do that, like that's okay. Like you're going to have your own skills and your own specialities. And I don't even like, I wasn't even planning on having that speciality. It just happened that at one time in my life, a lot of people were coming to me about that same question. And I was able to do that. But that combination was coming up a lot. And it did indicate successful pregnancy. So I'm going to go ahead and hide that and hide that. So Sophia is here. Hello. Hello, Sophia. And Dina says, definitely very fertile looking. Yes, for sure. Yeah. I'm sure there are other card combinations other than that, but like I can't think of any. And Sophia, you just showed up. So Sophia, we're talking a little bit about like there's no set topic for tonight's episode, but we're talking a little bit about tarot card combinations and what they may signify. So Dina was talking about death and the Page of Cups for her being sad news. I was just talking about Empress and the Ace of Pentacles being fertility or pregnancy. So I'd be very interested in hearing, do you have any tarot card combinations that indicates to you a message? And if so, what is it? And I'm going to put back up the overlay. And it's interesting about like what I was saying regarding clarifying cards, because I used to be that kind of reader where I would like pull clarifier card after like just one more card, just to get more information. And now I don't really do that as much with my readings, because I kind of have a conversation with my deck before I read with them, either before the client sits down or also when the client sits down. So I'll like talk to them, like I talked to them at the beginning of the event that I did on Saturday. And I was just like, guys, just please be clear. Just like give clear, accurate, healing, helpful readings today. Like, so mote it be. And it is so. And then when, you know, people would sit down and ask their questions as they were shuffling, I was just like, all right, let's get a clear answer. Like, we're looking for a clear answer on blank. And then if I need a clarifying card, I'll pull one from the tarot, but no more than one, or I will work with a different deck and pull one from a different deck, or I'll pull one from the Sorcery Underground, or I'll pull one from an oracle card, and it kind of like coalesces the message. So Sophia has got a lot of information. So Empress, Four of Wands, Pence in general are all pregnancy. Magician can be infertility based on Thoth, all the seeds, but nothing manifested yet, from what I've seen with my clients. And Sophia also says, Thoth is very fertile in general, though. You can find sex in anything, to be honest. It would fit with today's Card Slingers episode. Yes, I didn't mention today's Card Slingers episode. So I have two episodes that came out today. The first of which is my standalone tarot podcast, the Tarot by Hillary podcast, where I did another major arcana in-depth episode. This time it was the Chariot, because we are coming up on 2023, and the Chariot will be 2023's general tarot card of the year, because 2 + 0 + 2 + 3 equals 7, which is the Chariot. So you want to check that out. Also, I did my own little advertising break in there, which I'm very proud of, if I do say so myself. And I was just like, a word from your sponsor. It's me. And it's me. Your sponsor is me. And then for the Card Slingers Coast to Coast episode, it is episode 69, and we are immature children. And so we have Jamie reading from The Sexual Key to the Tarot, which is a book that was published in like 1971, and with all the good, bad, follies, indifference. It was a fun episode to record. I hope you hear that in this episode. And Kendra made us softcore porn music. So it's a fun episode. Yes. Cash register noise, air horn. Or bow chicka wow wow. Yeah. So any other card combinations? It doesn't have to necessarily be about fertility either. And I have a feeling that I'm not going to even be able to make it through this episode for the mid-episode weekend reading, or maybe I might be able to do the weekend forecast, because I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I think I just went white as a sheet, and it's because I think I'm on, what am I, second day of my period, third day of my period, and I've been trying to honor that energy that goes along with it. We do not do that as a society. We really don't. We just like make ourselves force ourselves through all the pain, or don't allow for rest, or don't allow for anything of that sort, or don't allow our bodies to actually, I don't know, do what they need to do when they need to do it. And yeah, so I just like, I don't know if you could see like the pain across my face, but I just got a really bad cramp. So I'm like, oh, not while I'm doing the live stream. I'm actually having fun right now. So let's keep on going. But I might have to cut this episode short, and I do apologize for that. But also, thank you all for understanding. Dina's like, take care of yourself, and oh Lord, treat yourself with kindness. Thank you, Sophia. Thank you, Dina. Do we want to do the mid-episode reading, or do we have anything pressing to talk about? Otherwise, I'm just gonna be nice to myself and take care of myself, because I was fine all day. Yesterday I did absolutely nothing. I like was curled up in a ball in the bed all day. And this is actually the good part about self-employment, is that I can actually honor those energies and like know like, no, I can't do it, or yes, I can, or here's where I go. And also this like kind of falls into honoring your cycles for based on your human design. And I'm a manifestor. I don't have my own energy according to that human design profile. Manifestors don't have their own energy, so they have the spark to like start something, and then here pass the baton to somebody else to keep it going. And if you don't know what human design is, I would highly recommend checking out the episode that I did with Meg Percy, who is a human design expert. And it was a really good episode, and also it read me to filth, which I know you guys particularly enjoy when the cards come after me too. And it's just like, oh, look, the cards are coming after her too. That's great. And it's just like, yeah, most of the time they'll come after me as well. So Dina's saying we good. So I'm going to take you guys at your word. And yeah, I'm open to more suggestions for December episode topics. Let's see. I'm still going to live stream, even if we don't have a fixed topic in mind. So we've got 3 more episodes of the year. We have Friday the 16th, we have Friday the 23rd, and we have Friday the 30th. So just keep that in the back of your mind, whatever you want to talk about, whatever topics you want to discuss. I'm open to it, and hopefully, my body is not trying to murder me next week. But let's move on to the weekend forecast. So we already did the astrology, unless, of course, there's other questions. Sophia, you got a question? Let me know. I wish I could think of more tarot card combinations. I feel like I've talked about them before, though. And I did read from the book of How to Read Tarot. It's a pretty deck. Yeah, I flipped right to the bridge spread. Okay, Sophia's saying all good. Okay, cool. All right. Oh, by the way, Sophia, just to let you know, I did take the Sorcery Underground with me to the event on Saturday, and people loved it. I was just like, you want to get weird? Like, yeah, let's get weird. Oh, that's an interesting combination. So 3 of Swords, 5 of Wands can be heart problems. Yeah, do you know that, or heart problems, or heartburn as well. I actually do get a sense of like blood pressure or circulation issues when I see the Wands cards in health readings. So, and I always preface with like, for entertainment purposes only, like, I am not a doctor, but here's something that you might want to look out for. Sophia's like, "Ooh, it's so good." Yeah. Yeah, I was just like, well, "Let's get weird. Do you want to get weird with this?" Or, and I was explaining to everyone what it was, whether it was like, okay, so this is like a combination of three different divination decks like rolled into one, and it also has a little bit of like the method or advice with it, and sometimes it can be like as mundane as check the oil in your car, or sometimes it can be like leave 3 roses at the crossroads. So it's just like, does that sound interesting to you? And everyone was just like, yes, that sounds really cool. And so I would pull 3 cards, and on top of the cards that I had already pulled of like the tarot, the I think it was, I had my Radiant Rider-Waite Smith and I had my Reflective Tarot. And yeah, and at one point, get your oil change did come up for someone. I was like, I told you it was in there. So Sophia says it's good with the Endless Oracle that just came out too. Also love with Tabula Monday. Yeah. So sometimes the Sorcery Underground is too sharp to read it straight. Sometimes it needs a chaser of a kinder, gentler deck to kind of like soothe it a little bit. Or at least this is something that Sophia and I have been discussing about the Sorcery Underground. But I kind of like I'm like, bring the pain. I like it, but also I'm like, ooh, okay. And I'll check with my clients too. I'll be like, how hard do you want to go here? And they're just like, I want it hard. I'm like, okay. Yes. Good analogy. It's like a sharp cheddar, fabulous, but sometimes needs some apple. All right. Let us go with, well, I don't have anything close to hand except for, do we want to do the Disney villains? Do we want to do Disney villains for the weekend forecast? Because I've been doing it for the deck of the month, but I'm totally fine to do a shuffle and do it for the weekend forecast too. I think that's what we're gonna do. Because I mean, I have my regular deck here. I also do have the Way of Bridget Oracle deck in here. I'm not feeling that right now. I have the Super Attractor deck. I have the Sphere Junkie, but I don't know. I'm feeling the villains. I'm feeling the villains. Disney villains. Okay. It's a good deck too. I'm liking it so far. And I hope people have been enjoying the card of the day polls, card of the day videos, or the energy for today. It's like using the algorithm to best advantage. All right, weekend forecast. What do we need to know for this weekend? Interesting. We've got the 6 of coins. And I don't know who this is. But we've got 6 of coins, 6 buttons on a jacket. So let us go to the guidebook. Okay, and it's upright. So, according to the guidebook, the 6 of coins, while sharing with others may not be at the top of every villain's priority list, the 6 of coins asks you to be generous. You've been very successful lately, but you didn't accomplish your goals alone. It's time to show your appreciation to those who've helped you along the way and give to those less fortunate. So 6 of coins is about generosity and about giving and allocating your resources accordingly. It doesn't have to be charity, but it is generosity. It's rooted in generosity. So that is the theme of the weekend. Be generous. Remember that you haven't gotten to the place that you are on your own. You've had a lot of help. No one does anything alone. And even villains, because this is the Disney Villains Tarot. So thank you. That's your weekend forecast from the Disney Villains Tarot deck. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry I got to cut it short this time around because my body is betraying me, or I am going along with what my body needs. And what it's saying right now is I need to rest and lie down and put a hot compress on my womb. So, yes. Thank you. I didn't think I was going too hard, but you know, sometimes you're just struck with a sharp cramp and you're just like, oh, okay. All of the blood just drains from your face and you want to go and cry in a corner. So that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Too much TMI. But yeah, so we do this every Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, whether it's just a live stream and taking your general questions, or we have a different topic each week on divination or witchcraft or magic or EFT or whatever. So Dina says, feel better. Get some rest. I will. Indeed. Thank you both so much for understanding. And anyone that's watching right now, just like too much information, Hillary, but you know, whatever. So Friday nights, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you would like a reading with me, you can book one at tarotbyhillary.com. Phone, Skype, email, Zoom, and EFT sessions are available, as well as tarot readings. So once again, I am Hillary, professional tarot reader and EFT practitioner, demystifying the mystical and putting you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition. Because yes, my friends, do not argue with me. You have intuition. Have a wonderful, wonderful night and weekend, and I'll see you next time, Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye.